So for this piano tutorial, I want to share a reharm that I heard by Parris Bowens to the song To Worship You I Live in the key of G major. But I'll basically show you guys first the original way to play this song with some substitutions that you can do here and there to the original song, and then I'll show you guys the reharm, which sort of goes way out there. It leaves the scale, but it still tends to work out. And I'll try to explain some of the theory behind it as well. So like I said, we are in G major, and the song starts out on the 4. So, right, C major. And this is the voicing that I like to use. To worship you I live, to worship. So it starts on the 4, and then it goes to the 5, which is technically played as a 4/5. So something like this. It's basically a C major over D. Or you can even play like this if you want to include more notes. So to worship you I live to worship you. And then we go to the 1 chord, which is a G major. And for the 1, we have different voicings that we can use. One of my favorite ones is imagining that I'm playing the 5/1. So I'm playing a D major. And of course, we know that we can add like a 9th or a 2nd to a D major. So why not add it? So we add an E to this D major. Then my left hand, I dedicate it to fill up as a G major chord. So something like this, right? G major with a 2nd as well. And when we combine both, we got a G major 9th, 13th, okay? So to worship you I live, to worship you I live to worship you, right? And with these 3 chords, it gives us the ability to, or the opportunity to add different passing chords or different substitutions. So to worship you I live, right? We can go to the 2, to worship you. And for this 2, I am playing it in a way that I'm still maintaining this melody note right here. So something like this. You might have to stretch out your hands a little bit, but you can get away with some of these notes like the C and D, playing it with your thumb alone, okay? So something like this. So to worship you I live, to worship you I live to worship. Something like that, like a 2/5/1. Or you can also do something like this. To worship you I live. You can do a 6, 2, and then a 5, and then a 1. So it sounds like this. To worship you I live, 6, to worship, then a 2, I live, and then the 5, and then we're back to the 1. All right? So one more time. Alright, something like that. Six, 2, 5, and then 1. And for the 6, what I'm doing is I'm thinking of it as a 5/6. So my right hand is playing a D major, which is the 5, and my left hand is playing the 6, which is a E minor. And I'm just using different melodic lines, like something like that, D, E, and then playing D major, and at the same time playing E minor. So something like this, right? And then we land on the 2. And that's something else that I like to do as well, maintaining that melody of the song. So when I land on the 1, I do something like to worship you, right? So I just play a minor, and then a G major, all over the G or the 1 bass, right? So you can also include a 3 as a passing chord right before the 4. To worship. A different variation to the same thing. 6 and then a 2. All right, so the next part of the song goes 5 and then a 4, and then back to the 1. Very easy progression. 5, 4, 1. And we can include some of the similar passing chords or substitutions that we used before. So instead of going to the 4, we can go to the 2 and then back to the 4. We can use a passing chord right before the 5 as well, something like this. Alright, so this passing chord right before the 5. The way that I like to think about it is, I know that I'm landing on the 5, so I go 1 half step down from the 5, which is a D flat or C sharp, and then the chord that I'm going to play with this C sharp is going to be 3 notes to the right. So 1, 2, 3, which is a E, and I play it as a minor, and that creates a half diminished chord right there. So C sharp with a E minor creates that C sharp minor 7th flat 5, and I use it as a passing tone before a D or the 5. So right? Or you can even use an A major instead of C sharp half diminished. You can do something like this: A major with the bass on C sharp. That works as well. So, right? It sort of serves as a dominant, a secondary dominant. Okay, so A is the 5th of the 5th. All right, A is the 5 of D. So it tends to work out as a passing chord as well. All right, so I digress. Let's go back to the song. So 4, 1. We can include a 6 as a passing chord as well. Again, different passing chords to the same, different variations to the same passing chord. So here what I did was something like, right? I did a 6, 1, and then back to the 4. Right, so that's basically the way to play the original way to the song. But now let's move on to the reharm that I heard by Parris Bowens, and it's completely different to the way that I'm playing it right now. So let's focus on this second part of the chorus. So the part that we just finished, right? It goes to a 5, but then what he does here is he goes to the 4. And then he plays this. I'll repeat it again. Right? It's completely different to the original harmony of the song, but what he does here is basically play around with the melody. So there's a small trick, I guess you can call it. It's not really a secret, but let's say we have a melody of the song, right? The melody goes, right, plays those notes, and then it goes, it lands on the B, right? And the chord that we play here in this part of the melody would be a G major. But what he does is look for other chords that also include that B as part of the chord. And it just happens to be that this A flat minor 7th also includes this B. So he plays it, and then he just goes along the circle of fifths or fourths to C sharp minor 7th, which also includes this melody note. So it still sort of works out with the song, okay? So then he goes another chord through the circle of fourths. So he goes to F sharp, again including that melody note, and then he comes back to the original harmony of the song, which is G major, in this case 7th, okay? So once again, 5, 4, sharp 1, sharp 4, a 7, and then back to the 1, something like that, right? Or you can call it a flat 9, flat 9, flat 5th, a 7, and then we're back to the 1. And there's different passing chords that he uses even within these reharmonized chords. So something like this. Right? And here it comes. So what he does basically is play A flat, then a B major, then a C sharp minor 7th, then a E major as a passing chord, and then a F sharp minor, and then he's back to G. Alright, I hope this lesson was helpful to you guys, and if you have any suggestions or any requests, you can leave it down in the comments below. You can follow me on Instagram and hit me up for whatever question that you may have. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like in the video. Alright, God bless.